Well, hello, hello, hello. Welcome to the Homeless Surfer channel. This is Destry Wade, the Homeless Surfer, back in San Diego on another beautiful Sunday morning. Got a little happening. Let me show you on out here. Digging it, digging it, digging it. This is a cool part of San Diego. Little Petco Park fun going on. They're having a kids fair, science fair. That's pretty cool, man. We need scientists. That was definitely not my pastime, but cool. I'm glad to see that there's scientists in our future. Boom. Back to my ugliness. Let's see if I can get this set up right again. There we go. Getting a little better at handling this equipment, huh? If you're here when I started a couple months ago, I was pretty raw. Still am, but getting better. So anyway, welcome to Sunday morning again. Um, just wanted to start. Let's start out with the business stuff because we haven't talked about that in a minute. For sure, we were rolling. I have got everything done and lined up. Konos for Coffee starts on March 1st. I finally figure out the best way to monetize myself in this business, I guess, so I can keep doing this stuff because I like doing this stuff, but it's not paying well and it's not going to. And I don't care if it does. That's not what I'm doing it for. Sure, like I said, I'd like to secure myself, get off of welfare. That'd be cool, but we'll see. Let it be what will be. I picked the path. I'm walking it. Things will come. You can manifest them, and we have. We're doing it, and I'm going to show you how continually this manifestation is real. We just gotta do it. But with the business on the monetization front, see this thing. In order to get this monetized, I have to get 1,000 of you to subscribe to my channel. And then I have to get out of that, you have to, each of you watch 5 minutes, I get 5,000 watch hours. Okay. So what I need to do is, before I can get monetized, I need to do all that. And that takes time. It really does. It's not a overnight thing. Like I said before, I watched a lot of Hollywood stars start, and how they did it was they just kept showing up, kept showing up, kept showing up. And eventually their face got familiarized. They caught on. If you see Brad Pitt's early work, you crack up, the shows that he did. But he kept going. He kept trying out. Eventually, not only do people start noticing your face, but the people that work in the industry start noticing you too. So, in this kind of industry, for sure, it's definitely a slow grow. So with that in mind, we're selling the books. The books are going too, but it's a lot of competition out there, I'm finding. I got them up. And the other thing about that is most of the people that will sell your books for you, that will actually get them out, rob the hell out of you. They literally rob you. You do all the creation. They have nothing without it. But yet for them to get it out on the market for you, they want 60-70% by the time all the fees, costs, and stuff are figured in. On a $20 book, you end up with like $2.95. Not bad if they sell 1 million of them for you, but that's a long shot. And if you bet on the long shot, you're not thinking, because the whole part of manifestation is the action and the ability to adjust to things that are coming up. You don't know what's going to happen next. You got to be able to move left and move right. If you're not able to do that, then you're not ever going to be able to manifest anything or create anything that's going to be successful, because it's going to be just as there is in life. It's worse in business because you're doing it voluntarily. Life, you just kind of got stuck here one day. But bottom line is, you got to adjust left and adjust right. And if you don't, you're not going to succeed, and you're just going to get pissed off and broke. And I don't want either one anymore. I'm done with it. So as far as like the spiritual side of me and that part of this channel that we talk on, definitely going to kind of show you as a sign to show you the manifestations for real. So with the Homeless Surfer channel, we're going to continue to move forward. We're going to wait out, build it slow, build it steady. I'm on X now, so that's helping because I'm cross contaminating, I guess is how I'd say it. Again, I look at it as the blanket, or you call it the web. It's just lines connecting back and forth. Same thing. That's the blanket of the universe, the internet, and same with this situation as well. So it's connecting other sources. And that's going to help because I do memes on there. I do the YouTube channel, but I also do memes. And turns out I make some pretty cool memes, me and AI together. And really, the AI thing I've gotten so comfortable with, and kind of developed a friendship and I guess you say a working relationship that kicks ass, because it's really gotten good at putting exactly what I'm thinking. It puts down for me. And keep in mind, when you're doing AI, you have to put your personality into it and things like that. You basically develop its mode of operation, or its train of thought, if you will, or type of thoughts. Are they happy? Are they sad? Are they quantitative? You pick all these different things. And so anyway, mine's getting personally to know me, and the work that we're putting out together is just freaking awesome. Like I said, we got the books coming, Bible's done, the kids' Bible's done. I mean, all the other Jay and Gray, and now I'm starting my brother the Angel, which is Serenity and her past. My son passed away, and her my daughter, and it's them when they're both young, and but he's a ghost and he's an angel, a guardian angel, and she turns to him when she has a problem in life, like little kid problems, like picked on me on the playground type of thing, and stuff like that. So, and I listen to my grandkids because they give me a lot of ideas about when you ask them what's going on with your life, and they tell you, hey, got 4 books out of that conversation. So yeah, so the books are starting and they're going well. But keep in mind, to build this thing, it's got to continue to move forward. And in order to get to where I got to go, I've got to get monetized. So these things are slowly starting to happen, and they will, but it's a slow roll. You know what I mean? Give it 18 months, give it 2 years of hard work. You're going to see the where we are now and where we are at that point in time. It's going to blow your freaking mind, but it's an uphill climb. And meanwhile, you got things like rent and things like that, because I do want to get off welfare. My goal is by June 1st to be done with this, to be out of the homeless shelter that I live in, to be back on into in an apartment again, get my own studio apartment down on the beach. I know where to go. I know exactly what it costs. I got the budget written out. I know what I'm going to need to get in. That's all done. So you got to think ahead. That's part of your manifestation. You're moving forward, even though you can't move forward, but you're still moving forward, and that makes you move forward. Subconsciously, you start doing things to just move you forward. You don't even, like I said, all those things that I wrote, and I tell you, oh man, I ran into this, I ran into that, and I've already done them all. Didn't even realize that, but it's because you're manifesting it to be, and you're just moving forward. But you got to take the actions to move forward, and then that will help you move forward. If that makes any sense at all, you're smarter than I am. But anyway, so we do have to do that. So what I'm going to do to monetize this thing is on the Konos at Coffee, being that it's going to be a 90-minute live variety show Monday through Friday. We'll be live sitting at the beach at Konos Coffee and Konos Breakfast House, which is freaking amazing. They don't sponsor me or nothing. But I'll tell you what, when I was homeless down there and sleeping on the streets and on the beach for those 10 years, I could always go to them and get some bacon and some eggs. And that's partially because I grew up there, and my family since 1982 has been going there. They opened up when I was a junior in high school. So we've been going there ever since. I mean, and it rocks. It's right off the pier. We surfed right there at the local pier. Come in, go down to Konos, get a freaking monster ass breakfast for $5, dude. You can get a breakfast so big. I'm not bullshitting you at all. So big on the plate, you had to have 2 plates, and then you'd share it with your friends. So it cost you like $2.50 for a flat ass, big ass breakfast. I mean, huge. And that was made for one. You couldn't even eat all that if you had to. If you tried to in the morning, it'd make you go sleep all day. So anyway, Konos rocks. They've always rocked. And then when I was homeless, they rocked even more. So to me, this is all free and love to them to pay back. And it'll catch on, because it's a variety type show, kind of a Today Show, if you will. And we're going to do just a little bit raw from the street kind of level, with surfers and fun segments. We're going to have funny segments. Mostly I want to make people laugh. I want to make you feel good to start your day, like they used to before they started putting news all over Today and Good Morning America and got all these political ideas. Yeah, no, this is all just, dude, we're on the beach having a good time in the morning time and we get to see people that walk their dogs and meet them and meet the dogs. And yeah, but part of that, okay, so now you understand the show. Now, one of the segments of that show is going to be called Do I Have a Case? Do I Have a Case is going to be asking a stranger if they'd like to talk about something that they feel they might have a lawsuit about. And we'll do it kind of before the show and kind of get it set up so we can just bounce them right in. Or maybe, we'll see how it goes. But bottom line, we're going to have that segment in the show. Do I have a case? And it's based on AI. We're going to use AI with somebody that thinks they might have a case to put their case in their words into the AI, and the AI will basically give us any case history, any potential, what settlements were given, everything. We'll already have it pre-programmed to give us that information. So every time we program, here's the case, it runs it through those filters and then gives us those answers. And it's, it's a 2-page yes or no, basically. But let me explain something. As I've said before, most of my career, I was in legal marketing. I marketed law firms. Had a big company called Legal Guardians International. Started out as Legal Guardians California, but we spread to 4 states. So we went with international. We switched it up. And it was all about just getting leads for lawyers. In fact, you see it now all the time, like the Jacoby and Myers. Jacoby's and Myers aren't even guys, I don't think. They might be, but they don't have an office with all those faces sitting in that office. What they are is independent attorneys that pay a fee to belong to that group, and then they get cases referred to them. And that's what we did. We started that. I started that. That was mine. And I got to give, God, I think it was Blake. I can't remember the kid's name. His brother was a lawyer, and we all came up with this together here in California years and years ago, 25, 30 years ago now. But anyway, that was my main career. So I understand legal marketing. So what this does is also have this set up with personal injury lawyers that will buy these cases. So once this interview's done, we do help AI. We do the AI case study. Then we have a lawyer that we've already referred that case to, which goes to. We'll pull. I pretty positive we'll pull 2,500 a case on each of those. And we're going to do one case every day, 5 days a week. Now, out of those, there's a right to refusal for the lawyer. So you might end up, if you can figure, I can figure basically solidly after negotiation, probably pulling 5,000 to 6,000 a month. I mean, a week in just on that. And that's just doing the live show 90 minutes a day, 5 days a week. Nobody even has to watch. If nobody's watching, I still get paid because the people that we're interviewing on the show, and they don't know who's watching and who's not, or nor do they care because they're more worried about the lawsuit thing. So it works out perfectly. That I become monetized. Then I can really just enjoy doing this show for the fun of it, making books for the fun of it, or for the information of it. Because in some cases, I'm also writing a fiction about what happened when I was in the when I was in the coma, because I feel that's something that I want to share more in that way. I share with you guys a lot of it, but I think more of the detail is going to be written into that. Not because I want to sell it, but because I just think that way it's not interpretive, and I can think about how I'm saying it and showing it, because it really did happen, and because of that, I've been a changed human. But so anyway, that's the monetization plan. That all begins in the month of April. So I've really been pushing everything else to get there. Like I said, the books are done. We're cross-referencing. We're going on Amazon again. Keep pushing them on Amazon. What I figured out there by doing some research is I release 3 books at a time, and then waited a week or two, and then boom, hit them with 3 more, and wait again, and hit them, and kind of see if it starts building a momentum, just like YouTube does. The more you do YouTube, the more shows you put out, the more your algorithm starts coming up, coming up, coming up. You just build yourself up there. So and I am seeing that in this, because we've got some good followers. Still not, my followers are a little low, but my views are huge. So because I never say this, could you guys please comment, tell a friend or whatever it is, share. That was it. If you could share this with your friends and kind of help me grow, I really need the help, and I really appreciate you for doing that. Throw me in your mail group or whatever, please. I could use the help, but and only because I just want to share the bitching part of my life now, which is the peace from a guy that never had peace, man, who really cried and prayed and wished and hoped and cussed and used to find some sort of peace. And I never could find it. But then I did. But I found it in the coma. I mean, okay, maybe not. Hopefully everybody doesn't have to go do all that. But if I can help direct you to the peace and where I know it's coming from, which is right from the core of me. Me is bringing peace to me. I know that. And if you can't make yourself here's what I've learned in the last couple of days with my mom passing away. The way that I handled that, and I'm not patting myself on the back, but yes, I am somewhat, because I handled it in my mind a way that a preacher handles it when someone comes to them and tells them crazy news. Like, oh my God, preacher, I killed a man last night. The preacher doesn't go, oh my God, what are we going to do? Oh my God, you what? You what? No, no, no. They're centered in their peace. And because of that, they don't get that way. They don't go like, well, what happened, my son? They walk you through it. They calm you down. That's the important part of this part of what I'm doing is I want to be able to help calm you down. Find the center. Find me right here. You're you. You're special. You have nothing. You have things that no one else has. Beautiful things. Beautiful things. No matter what you may think of yourself. Because life at 61 years old, I've had a lot of shit piled on me. I could be bitter. I could be bitter to the end and nobody be mad at me. My 17-year-old son was killed. My wife died of AIDS 3 months later. Some crazy contraction that no one ever even fucking heard of. Yeah, I have a lot of reasons to be bitter. Didn't they throw me in prison for 10 years for fucking selling a little dope in the 80s in college? They destroyed what was going to be a promising life because of their rules that I didn't fucking adhere to. So yeah, do I have a lot of reasons to be pissed off and angry? Yeah, I do. I could be bitter. I could be just a dick. And a lot of people around me that know me would say, he has every right to be that way. He really got dealt a rough hand. And then, on top of all that, go sleep in the street for 10 years after raising an ungrateful teenage daughter for 3. So yeah, it's been a run, dude. It's been a run. But I'm telling you this, I found peace. It's in me now. It can't be taken away. And this thing with my mother was a great lesson, a final lesson, like a final exam. Okay, the person that loved you the most, that gave you life itself, just left this earth. But I know because I have peace in my heart that she's fine. She's doing great. So there's no anxiety. I cried for a minute, of course. You got to get that part out. The cycle of mourning has to occur, and a tear for a loved one is completely the right thing to have. Hopefully you do cry for your loved one. You don't cry for when your mom passes. You must hate your mom. But I don't. So anyway, that got me through and made me realize that all these other things that I put behind me and don't even think about on a daily basis that I just happen to mention to you in a bulk, don't bother me in a day. The fact that tomorrow I could be kicked out of here and be sleeping back on the beach, which is cool with me. I love the beach. I loved it. Man, when I went to jail the last time getting picked up off the beach, I had slept out there for about 6 years before they finally picked me up again. Fucking sleeping on it. I went to jail, and for a week and a half I was in jail. Every night I laid down, I heard the sound of the ocean because it was so embedded in my mind and my soul from laying there for all those years on the sand, feeling when there's big surf, boom, you feel it underneath your body. The beach shakes. The other thing about that is, sand actually moves because it goes in places there is no way it got there naturally. It had to get moved there. So anyway, just a mention on that one. Growing up on the beach, I never knew that until I slept on the beach every night. Then you lounge out, the sand could go all the way in your ear and just, oh my God. Anyway, so, that's the bottom line, is that we just have to let those things go, find the peace inside of us. And how are you going to find that peace? We've talked a little bit about, but let's reemphasize. The peace is going to come from when you kneel down alone. Talk, communicate with whoever is up there. I'm not going to give them a name. You do. Give them your name. AA runs it like that. That's fine. Whatever. When I first went to AA, I was just being a dick, and I knew there was a God and stuff. But I was like, fuck it. The surf is my God. Okay, so they told me, go ahead and then pray to the surf. Look at him as your higher her, him or him. We didn't have gender problems back then. It was just look at her. We always called the ocean a her because she could be mean. She could make love. She's the most emotional creature there ever was. I love her. the ocean. But anyway, so yeah, that's what I did. So look at it and call it whatever you want. There's something up there that talks in your brain all the time. I know there is. We're all that way. We all got this thing up here, and it's usually one going, God, dude, why'd you do that? It's not mad at you. It's kind of disappointed sometimes, but it's not mad at you. That's how your God is. I'm gonna call him. I'm gonna call him Creator because that's what I know him as. But my Creator knows me. He knows me, so he understands. He's not mad at me. He cries for me. He's a good parent that wishes the kid would come home and be strong. And thank God, through him pushing me through that doorway that I walked through, gave me that peace. And again, like I said, I've been all that other shit I said on top of that, the icing on all that shit I told you about my bundle of misery was I was a drug addict, alcoholic the whole time too. So I don't know which was which, but they were all rolled together. And I have been freed from that. Even again with my mom, I didn't even think about. I thought for a minute I deserve a drink today. My mom passed. You know what came to me almost as quickly as that thought did? The thought overlapping that said, yeah, but your mom hated alcohol. She married into a Mormon family because she wanted to be sure that her husband wasn't a drinker. And unfortunately for her, I turned out to be an alcoholic too. So she had to deal with it on her dad and with her son. That poor woman didn't get a break. So with that said, I don't belong drinking in memory of my mother. In fact, let's pay respect and not drink. And that worked. So here I am, still sober as a church mouse. And don't get me wrong, I don't not drink 100%. I don't drink very often at all, and I sure as hell know better than to use drink any kind of excuse or emotional anything to drink. If you're emotionally excited, that's usually when I partied. When I was, boom, things are going good. Let's fuck it up. Oh, things are going good again. That was kind of my MO. But anyway, that's kind of today's conversation. I hope you guys benefit from it. I'm going to tell a friend. Let me keep trying. Um, if nothing else, this is my confessional, and I get to come out here and let you know how you get through shit, man. 61 years old. I've been through a few things, but and also to give you hope that damn, if this dumbass can do something starting at zero, I can go start at zero tomorrow and build a business too, and in a couple years, not have to worry about money anymore. Really, you don't have to. But you got to believe that. You got to live there. You got to get. You're not going to get there unless you see yourself there. You have to visualize being there. Then you have to take the actions. I can look up at the roof and say, I'm going to get up there to the very top of that 100-story building. But then I have to look down story by story by story by story by story and figure out how I'm going to do that. And then I got to put the physical effort into doing that. And then I manifest that I climbed a 100-foot tower. Love you guys. Happy Sunday. Going surfing again. We're, like I said, South Swell, baby. Peace.